Hey, this is for the Calc 1 students or first semester calculus. Today I want to go over the product rule, but with three functions. So we're used to the regular product rule, where it's the first times the derivative of the second, plus the second times the derivative of the first. Or you might see it as u prime v plus u times v prime. And that's the regular product rule, but that's for two functions. That's with a u and a v. But here, I want to go over three functions. So it's like if we do the derivative of f of x times g of x times h of x. This is actually what it's going to look like. The derivative of the first times the second and third, and then the first times the derivative of the second times the third, and so on, but the last one is going to be h prime. And so it looks pretty dang similar. It looks like only one derivative of each, and they're all added together. So, but here's how we do it. So for simplicity, I'll take out the x's, and I'll use the prime for derivative. So we know that if they're multiplied together, let's just rewrite this as f times, and if they're multiplied together, we could just do g times h in the inside. Prime. And that's exactly the same thing. If they're multiplied together, we can just use parentheses. So now if you notice, we actually have a function here, and this is technically another function. A function times another function is yet another function. So now we have two of them. Oh, and we can go back to the OG product rule right here. We can use that one right there. So let's do that. So I'll first put that one as red, the F, and then I'll do G times H, that one as green. Okay, so we know the product rule is going to be the first times the derivative of the second, so times, and then we have G times H, okay, the derivative of that. Okay, now we need to add now the second, g times h, that times the derivative of the first, that prime. Okay, so now how about actually let's rewrite this, because we need to take the derivative of that again. We could actually do that with, hey, another product rule, because there's two functions being multiplied together. So let's rewrite that as f times, and I'll just do a big parentheses. We know the derivative of g times h is actually g times h prime plus g prime times h times h. Okay. So that's the same thing right here. That's the exact same thing. Alright, and we're still left with g times h times f prime. I'll just rewrite them like that. Okay, so now we can distribute the f in right there. And so let's move that to the next page. Okay, let's factor that. So now we have f times g times h prime plus f times g prime times h plus g h f prime. Okay, and since these are all multiplied together, I'll just rearrange that. And we can actually, yeah, let's change that. So it's going to be f prime g h. And if you notice this should hopefully be the exact same thing that we had before. So yep, we had an f prime, we had a g prime, and an h prime. And the others were normal. So let's look at that. Yep, we have an h prime, g prime, and f prime. And everything else is normal. And that's actually where it comes from. There you go.